We're here with Shawn Barber and Nick Baxter. For the people that are not familiar with how to, get a hold of your portfolios, do you want to just introduce yourselves, let people know where to find you online?
nickbaxter.com is my website, and on Instagram, I'm Burning X Hope. And if you go to my website, my Instagram scrolls across the bottom as an image feed anyway. So just go to nickbaxter.com, and that's kind of like the hub for everything I'm doing artistically, tattoo-wise, painting, teaching.
Awesome. And you're in Austin, Texas?
I'm in Austin, Texas.
Shawn, what do you got going on? Where are you at?
sdbarber.com is most of my paintings. There's links to tattoos on there. Website for the shop, memoirtattoo.com, and Instagram is SHAWNDBARBER.
Nick, what have you been up to? Obviously, you've been painting. You working on any particular pieces? Or?
Yeah, I've been doing my usual landscape painting. That's something I really enjoy. It's a very, very relaxing, happy place for me to be out in nature painting. So I just got back from Sedona, Arizona, actually doing 2 days of plein air there. And then at home, I've been working on some large scale paintings here in my painting studio, and doing the usual drawing tattoos, and of course, and doing lots of tattoos down at my tattoo shop, Art Realm Tattoo here in Austin. I can give you a little tour with me in the frame, a little selfie tour.
Awesome.
But I got this big 4-foot painting in progress. It has some surreal effects and some trompe l'oeil here, where it looks like a painting within a painting. So working on that, and then let's take a little tour over here. Always have a lot of plein air studies. I just got back from Sedona, where I was working on some classic desert scenes.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, we'll have a little bit of a chat after this, and then we'll start talking about some of the plein air stuff in April. But have you been out to Sedona before? Or?
Yeah, I have. I love it out there. It's one of my favorite places. The mountains in Arizona are one of my favorite artistic inspirations.
Awesome. And then what have you been up to, Shawn?
I've been tattooing a lot more. I'm feeling super inspired with that. Been working on a 3-person show with 2 friends, Carl Dobsky, Cora Kaufman. We're doing an exhibition next either April, May, or June here in Los Angeles at Copro Gallery, which we just kind of signed on board with, so nobody really knows this yet.
Awesome.
And then next month I'm going to travel the Midwest to document some tattoo artists, and come back home and go to Las Vegas and do some teaching at CTS in Las Vegas. I said that twice.
That sounds pretty awesome. You're going to be documenting? What are you documenting?
I'm going to visit Dot Brunson in Cincinnati, Mike Dorsey and his wife Marnie in Cincinnati, Corey and Brenda Flatmone, Cincinnati. Ann Arbor, Michigan, I'm going to go visit Leo Zuleta and Diane Dillon. And then Brooke Eldridge has an event called the Tattoo Historical Society. It's like a 1-day event in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And then a good friend of mine, James Spencer Briggs, is in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm going to go visit him.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing trip. You don't know the date of that historical society event, do you?
Saturday next month, October 9th. It's a 1-day event.
Are you going to be painting everybody, or are you taking photos? Or?
Photos. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm going to spend a day or 2 with Mike Dorsey, so who knows what will happen in his studio. I'm really excited about that. I don't know what's going to happen.
Awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about April. So we have this inspiring tour coming up, and it's at this beautiful bed and breakfast in New Hampshire. And as the ideas are forming, we could, we've brainstormed a little bit, but maybe we could talk a little bit about some of the seminars that you've done in the past. Shawn with a portrait and Nick with the plein air. Yeah, let's. Who wants to go first and talk a little bit about the event?
Nick, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. the event is trying to capture the spirit of the Paradise Artist Retreats that Gabe here produced a few years ago. It's kind of like it's an immersive learning environment that's really intimate and can lead to some artistic breakthroughs and just fill up the tank of inspiration for years following the event. I know for myself, that's what they were like. And for a lot of my friends who were also attending those events, they had a similar effect on those people as well. So basically tapping into that same concept, but in more of like a masterclass format where there aren't a whole bunch of teachers. It's just me and Shawn are the teachers, and putting a small number of students into an immersive kind of intimate learning environment where we can really push each other and figure out what we're each there to learn and to get out of it. And of course, the focus is going to be on all these artistic fundamentals like landscape, portrait, still life, and how do we translate and convert those skills into tattooing. And I have a way that I personally do that. And Shawn, I'm sure, has ways that he takes his artistic skills and knowledge into his tattooing. And we can try to figure out how each of our students, since it's such a small group, on an individual level, we could figure out how each one of them wants to try to translate these artistic skills into their tattooing. And obviously the goal is to become a better artist, a better tattooer, and just to have a fun, inspiring time with cool people in a cool place.
And when you say small, so I think we're talking really like 5 to 7 students, which is, obviously it's a very small class size for, it's like 3 days, and then with an optional field trip day. So yeah, so Shawn, you want to talk a little bit about some of the portrait stuff?
Yeah, I think for this event, I'm interested in helping others and also learning myself. I haven't done plein air painting in a while, so I'm excited to play with that. I know Nick and I both bring totally different things to the table, but we also bring a lot of the same things to the table. I specialize in portrait painting as an artist, so I have a lot of practice and experience in sharing that information on how to approach it in a way where you can get results that you're happy with. And we're also going to do some still life painting from observation. So, I'm excited to kind of do a little bit of all of it and maybe even do some alla prima painting in there.
And so you'll be tattooing together is the intention, so that after 2 days of like workshops and painting together, then that third day there's a studio there so that you'll be tattooing, right?
That's what I hear.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the goal. We've never collaborated before, but that's what's going to make it very cool and unique and like a one-of-a-kind type of experience.
I'm excited to learn.
I'm not exactly sure how we find the right client, but I suppose, when people are watching this, if you're interested in getting a tattoo, they send their ideas, or, what do you think?
Yeah, like send a photo of the space you have available. And I think Shawn and I can take care of ideas and execution and, run things by the person, of course. But, with a collaborative tattoo, there's already so much to deal with combining two artistic minds that getting a third mind of the client involved can be too many cooks in the kitchen, so to speak, and just increase the level of difficulty and complexity past where it needs to be. So hopefully there's a client out there who's just open to something unique and cool that Shawn and I can come up with ourselves. That showcases
they'll get a piece
each
of
of
art
our
for sure.
strengths.
Well, I'm very excited to see who steps forward and to see what happens.
I think Nick talking about the past Paradise experiences, they were always huge, inspirational. To get the opportunity to be in a space with a bunch of creative folks who are there with the idea of trying to improve and trying to learn. It's not something that happens every day, and to do it in this intimate setting, it's going to be a unique maybe life changing. I don't know about that, but
it's one thing that I figured when I'm doing these events, I'm like, oh my God, how do we keep changing people's lives like every year. And I mean, both of you do this. A lot of it's just about the experience of everyone together being 1 or 2 or 3 years, wiser or more experienced or more beat up than we were last time. And yeah, to be able to take that same energies and like I said, I canceled other trips when I was looking at my schedule, and I'm like, well, there's like 2 other things that are going to go before I don't go to New Hampshire and help this happen, because it just seems like it's going to be an amazing time. What could people expect to need to bring to be prepared for said event?
We would certainly hope that everyone who attends already has some experience with painting on some level, and therefore has their own gear. I don't think we're going to be able to, since Shawn and I are both traveling across the country to get to this location, we're not going to be able to bring a whole lot of supplies to have everyone just show up empty-handed. So we are hoping everyone's going to have like the appropriate travel painting gear, paint, easel, etc. And that info will definitely be on the website of the event, and anyone can feel free to email me and ask me. I have tons of advice I can give on the best travel painting gear, how to get it through TSA checks in the airport, all kinds of advice I can give. So definitely people can reach out to me, and I'm sure Shawn has some advice too if people want to email him as well. But
we could always do a future one of these and show images or physical examples of what you're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I can even make a blog post on my website, nickbaxter.com too. I will actually do that before the event, in fact. I'm going to hold myself to that. But yeah, basically to answer Gabe's original question, we're hoping participants can bring their own, basic travel painting gear and be pretty self-sufficient and ready to go. So there isn't a lot of time and energy spent just fussing around with getting people situated to even start painting. So that would be one potential hopeful requirement of anyone who signs up.
Yeah, and also bringing an open mind into learning something that they might be uncomfortable doing. We're going to have fun, but we're not there to party. We're there to make work.
Yeah,
awesome.
And there's some vulnerability in that, some being willingness to fail in front of others potentially. And even me as a teacher at the event, I'm not a perfect artist. I don't know everything. So it's all of us together just being willing to be open, like Shawn said, and be vulnerable and maybe like fail, but learn in the process. And that's ultimately what the point of the event is.
Awesome. Well, I'll be getting the websites together where we'll be taking folks on a wait list. So awesome. Well, like I said, thanks again for taking the time, and we will catch up, I don't know, over the emails or the text.
Thanks, Gabe. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Shawn.